The fact that she died from a heart attack doesn't matter because the accident is the proximate cause that led to all those kinds of things.
All right, before we begin, let's thank our great sponsors, and we've got some good sponsors. Now, remember, if you would like to be a part of the process, I would love to have a conversation with you. Sponsoring the BPX, the Bailey Podcast Exchange, just reach out to me via jasonbailey.com. Let's start. Inspect All Pest Services. Inspect All Pest Services providing the highest quality termite pest and wildlife control. That's not all they do. Inspect All can take care of your insulation, your pressure washing, your gutter maintenance, and other home services there in the metro Atlanta and the surrounding areas. InspectAllServices.com. Also, thanks to Inspect All Pest Services for sponsoring all of our guests on the BPX. The Mad Dog Manny Arora with the Arora Law Firm, theAuroraLawFirm.com. Best damn defense attorney in the land. He litigates all over the United States, based out of Georgia. Criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, appeals, and more. TheAuroraLawFirm.com. And if you have a legal question for the Mad Dog when he visits the BS, please go to jasonbailey.com and get that to me now. It's Ridgeline Counseling with Dr. David Markwell. If you need help, get help. He's got 10 therapists who work with him there at Ridgeline Counseling, 3 different locations in the state of Georgia, one across from Sprayberry High School in Sandy Plains, in East Cobb, Marietta right there near the square, and McKaysville outside of Blue Ridge. But if you're not in those areas and you still need help from the best in the business, that'd be Dr. David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. He does virtual sessions, which are extremely helpful, and you can set that appointment up at markwelltherapy.com. Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia, family owned and operated. They are a Generac generator dealer, offering sales, service, installation, and repair of automatic home standby and portable generators. And each and every one of you, 2 peers, when you become a customer, you get an upgraded warranty, free monitoring with a service contract, offering flexible financing, semi-annual and annual service contracts for existing installations and warranty repair. They have an A+ rating with the BBB, and you pay nothing until the job is complete, and you, the customer, are very, very happy. Call or request a free home assessment. You can go online, poweringgeorgia.com, or you can call 770-853-7571. Don't forget, use the discount code Bailey, and you get $500 off your entire installation. Servicing Georgia and Tennessee. MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower of Atlanta. Beautiful, affordable bathing solutions. MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower. They're a local family-owned and operated company committed to enhancing your bathroom experience in Metro Atlanta. They provide high-quality, safe, and affordable walk-in tubs and showers, focusing solely on installations that elevate your home's comfort and accessibility. They service all of Atlanta, Georgia. Like I said, family-owned and operated, no commission sales guys. There's no hassle when you deal with MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower of Atlanta. No high-pressure tactics. Go to their website and see the work that they're doing. Gen Xers, having them parents finally move in, and you're going to help them out, and you got to redo all that. Don't do it yourself. Go with the best in the business. These are the pros. MVPWalk-ins.com. Or you can call 404-493-6888. Mention the BPX, get $2,000 off. Again, mention the Bailey Podcast Exchange, BPX, or any of the shows, and you will receive $2,000 off from MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower of Atlanta. Alive Ozone Therapy Spa, Central Florida's first and only ozone therapy spa, administering ozone therapy or activated oxygen therapy non-invasively through what is called the Hocket sauna. Also offering red light therapy, halo therapy, pressotherapy, PEMF, as well as naturally in-house made ozone-infused products online, like that magnesium butter. AliveOzoneTherapySpa.com to book your appointment or to shop all of the products for Alive Ozone Therapy Spa, as well as the brand new Alive Ozone Therapy Spa app. If you are an Apple user, go into your app store and just search Alive Ozone Therapy Spa. If you're an Android user, search Alive Ozone Therapy Spa, order and book online. Again, if you are a business and you want the BPX, the Bailey Podcast Exchange, to help your brand, there's so much more than just advertising when it comes to this world. I'd like to have that conversation with you. Reach out to me, please, via jasonbailey.com, and let's chat. With that being said, let's begin.
What do we want to talk about?
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Welcome to the Bailey Show podcast, a guy show women love to listen to.
Intellectually immature nonsense.
That's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS.
Okay, then, let's do it.
Yeah, there it is. Episode 431 of the BS podcast. It is a guy show women love to listen to. All on the BPX. It is the Bailey Podcast Exchange. 3 different shows, 5 days a week, one feed, making it as easy as possible for you. So if you're listening to this and you enjoy what you hear when it's all said and done, remember Monday through Friday supplying content for you. So if there's nothing that you normally would go to tickle your toes on traditional radio or whatever it is that it was, we've got all kinds of shows for you. And if you become a subscriber, so some of you, like, you might be on Spotify and you're watching the video, which is cool, but you might be on another platform and you're like, Bailey, you're an idiot. I don't know what you're talking about. 3 different shows, 5 days a week. I see 3 shows 3 times a week. Well, that could be you're not a subscriber. Well, that is. You're not a subscriber, so you're not getting the Tuesday and Thursdays episodes of the Bailey Show podcast. So I asked for Christmas. This is my prize that I want. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe. They need to subscribe. It's only $4.99 a month. It would be mucho apreciado. All right. That's Spanish French for thanks, dude. So that you can do all on jasonbailey.com. All right. Thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey right there. That is the Bald Badger, Benjamin.
Good day, sir. Good day.
I think I screwed up the beginning of the show with the intro. It might have been a little low for you guys, and we're just like blaring in your ears. So for that, I apologize. Maybe I'll fix it in post, and the comments that I just made won't even make any sense whatsoever. It's just me talking out loud. I've been wanting to have this conversation for a very, very long time, and I just have not gotten around to it. I almost got around to it a couple weeks ago, and that didn't happen. But I have a theory. And you, Bald Badger, as a musician, you are going to find this theory very interesting. That theory is that within the next 5 to 10 years, definitely within the next 10 years, probably before 5, that more people will be quoting their favorite creators when it comes to their favorite songs that they like. Meaning, AI will have taken over so much that there will be more, I don't want to say more than artists, but there will be more creators getting credit for songs than actual bands or artists or vocalists. Kind of like crediting Timberland or Dre as a producer for a song over the artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a really sad absolute. I'm certain that you're right.
Right. It
sucks, man.
Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the music industry has been in flux for years, and now with AI coming on so hard and so fast, it's just the next logical evolution. And it breaks my heart, dude, because I mean, music is an outlet for the creator as much as it is an input for the listener.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what we get to do, is give you our heart. Now it's like, did Copilot do that song or did Badger?
Yeah, but can you could you say the same thing about a creator? You know, like say somebody like me that's got zero musical talent, right, whatsoever, but I'm able to go in and in AI create a badass song. Is that kind of on the same lines as being? Well, hold on. As a musician, you know, you're an artist, you're a creator, because look, I'm in the same boat as a radio personality / podcaster, whatever it is that I am. There are AI podcasts that actually exist. I'm actually looking to do one just to see what it's like. I've gone through, like, radio people have gone through this world already, not necessarily with AI, but people outside of our business. I mean, because that's the conversation, somebody outside of your business coming in and taking over your business. Radio has been there for decades, you know, with celebrities and, you know, podcasters, you know, taking over for radio personalities. Really in the radio world, if you have a following or you have some type of marketing outside of radio, because radio does not market or cultivate its talent, they are going to hire you over somebody that is an exceptional broadcaster.
Mhm.
You could be an exceptional broadcaster, extremely witty, very funny, have zero name notoriety. Okay. Maybe do well in your market. But if they find a celebrity, and when I say celebrity, I'm talking about a quasi celebrity. If they find the guy that came in 4th place on Survivor in 2014, they're going to hire that guy
Mhm.
in a heartbeat because he was on TV, and radio executives love people that have been on TV. So it's
And
same.
how does that make you feel?
Oh, it's infuriates me.
Yeah. So here's kind of the analogy, the comparison that I'll give you. A guy works his ass off because he's dreamt since he was a little kid, I want to be a pilot. Can't wait to be a pilot. I'm going to do everything I can. That's my goal. That's my everything. I'm going to spend every waking hour trying to figure out all the differences in planes and steering mechanisms and engines. So he becomes a pilot. And then he gets fired because technology has gotten to a point where some kid can just go, "Hey, plane, take me to Charlotte." And the plane does it for him.
Mhm.
That guy's passion means nothing anymore because AI has just gotten in the way of that. That's
Mhm.
heartbreaking for that dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the world that we're going in. I mean,
Mhm.
AI skills, abilities that enable machines to understand, reason, learn, and interact in a human-like manner. You just look at where we've, gone in the last couple years. Just the other week, there was an article that, came and went. Amazon is laying off 14,000 people. And they've been honest. They said, hey, look, we are replacing you with AI. 14,000 people. Ben, does that sound like a lot of people to you to lay
It's a
off?
lot of people. That's a lot of lonely Christmases.
Right. Well, that's nothing compared to what's going to happen next year.
Mhm.
They're expected to lay off over 80,000 people next year. And the year after that, it's going to be even more. And my first thought is, damn, they got a lot of people working for them.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of people to lay off. You see on a daily basis. I know I talk about my industry a lot just because I'm close to it and passionate about it. But all these other jobs that people are losing, and they'll never get them back. That's the other thing is, you go by generations, and this was told to me, at least as a kid, find a job that is irreplaceable. Find a job that at some point in time, technology cannot take over. I didn't buy into it. I just always thought that there would always be jobs, and then the high-tech jobs or the new jobs or the computer jobs, as we called them as a kid, they would be on top of that. Right.
Mhm.
So there was no way on earth that those jobs would be taken away. Well, I was wrong. And I'll never forget. And I bring this story up from time to time, a conversation. I don't remember who it was with, but I had a conversation with somebody in the industry when I was young. And this was in like I got in the radio business in 95. So this might have been around 99 ish. The first iPhone came out in 2006. Okay. Maybe it was a little bit later. Maybe the first iPhone had already come out. So maybe it was my second run physically in Orlando. But anyway, somebody in the radio business came to me and said, yeah, this entire industry is going to change. One day you'll be able to listen to your radio on your phone. Yeah, no, it was way before 2006. Somebody told me that. They said, one of these days you'll be able to listen to your radio on your phone. You'll be able to pick which songs you want to play. I'm thinking like a Walkman, a Discman, that kind of thing. And oh my God, they were I didn't believe them. I just didn't believe them. When radio went to the route of what's called voice tracking. So most of you listening right now in whatever market that you're in, outside of maybe the morning show, none of those people are live. I would be very shocked that those people were live. They pre-record, which is fine. It's called voice tracking. It's fine. But there's like one person that does like 20 different markets, and they get paid for one market, which is it's at one time you got paid per and it was actually a profitable business to be in. But now they're like, oh, you just got to record it once. So they're generic, and then they'll throw a couple locals in just to make you feel like that they're actually there. And I was like, God, that kind of irritated me. I goes, where's the passion? Like you're saying, Ben, like
Where's the art?
Where's the art? And now it's going to be AI. You're going to have creative writers, which is the copyright job in the radio industry was gone long ago. I've said this for years. The new hot job in the radio industry will be the copyright writer. The copyright writer. Anyway, that person will write down what AI has got to do, and AI will go and say the things that this dude wrote down, and it'll take about 15, 20 minutes and get paid, $15 an hour. And the hero of the show will be this make-believe person with a very soothing voice that is on your airwaves, and the same thing for TV. I know you're like, what? I can see you doing it with a voice, but it's easily done now to make an AI version of yourself. My financial guy, I was talking to him the other day about some stuff. He just got done. He went into a studio and they recorded him, kind of like the Donna D'Erico stuff when Donna was on. They recorded him. They've trained the AI so he can now he has this video that he can send to his clients, that his clients can now ask him questions, financial questions that he can answer based off of the AI version of himself. Which the AI version of yourself is going to be smarter than you because you will not make mistakes. Not only does it learn what to say, the right things to say, but there's no way that it's going to get any facts wrong that you might forget or miss.
Awesome. What are we supposed to do?
Die.
Yeah, it seems that way.
I can't wait because there's no room in this world for me. I that's one of the realizations that I've come to is that I'm at that place now that, whoever is our age, our grandfathers probably felt at one time that was picking up part-time shifts at Home Depot because they're like, that movie, The Intern with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. And he goes and interns for Anne Hathaway, who started this online, clothing company that's become extremely successful. We find out later in the movie that this big, cool, open area communal workspace that she runs in New York for this online clothing company, he worked there decades ago when he was in the phone book industry.
For like 45 years or something.
Right. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, that tree, I remember when they planted those trees and stuff like that. That's where we're at right now. If you don't have an AI company or you don't know how to do AI to the extent of where you need to go to, it's not even funny. We've inserted AI with a live ozone therapy spa. We just added an AI bot. I mean, I know this is on a small scale, but we just added an AI bot to the website. And that's you go to a liveozonetherapyspa.com or any website, you see the little chat and you start talking and it's a bot talking to you. It's frustrating, right? It might be frustrating, and I was kind of pushing against it, but now I understand as a business owner.
Yeah. Chat bots have a place.
Right. That, when you go and just in the less than a month's time, all the CRM that we've gotten from that bot has been absolutely amazing. Even the guy that designed it was going, I'm blown away that you get that much traffic on your website. He goes, that's highly unusual, and then you want to transition that into bookings for appointments, in which they have. But the guy, and we're adding an AI receptionist. By the way, the AI receptionist in the bot's name is Ariel, after our daughter, which is also kind of cool that you can do. The guy that runs this company, I'm in BNI with him. That's how I met him. It's a fairly inexpensive process to do all this stuff, right? And I called and left a voicemail for him one day, and he's a lawyer. So when I got him on the phone, I'm like, dude, are you a lawyer? He's like, yeah. He's a young guy. He's like, I've been in law for about, like 15 or 20 years or something. I was like, So you run an AI company and you're a lawyer. He's like, yeah, I'm quitting law just to focus on AI. Think about that. You went to school for all those years. You became an attorney. You obviously have done well, and he's out. He's done. Done. You know. So I might talk to him about how do I at least invest in your company, just to feel like I'm part of the Joneses. I if there is ever something to invest in, I think OpenAI is about to, go public, and it's supposed to be crazy, like what it's supposed to open as the IPO for it. I'm in,
All right, here's the fear.
What's the fear of AI?
Pandora's box, man.
Oh, absolutely. Terminator, Skynet.
It's done. We have opened that thing and ain't no closing it now.
Mm-hmm.
John Connor is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're late.
Yeah, I agree with you. But it's the guy that gets a hold of the key to Pandora's box to control it, right? So that's what you would fight over. So it's no longer fighting one-on-one about some differences or land or anything like that or religion. It's fighting for the key to open Pandora's box so you can control all those little white robots that are an iRobot that Will Smith beats up. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to control. You want to be that guy to be able to control all that kind of stuff. It's really scary if you're not in that world. I see people, again, going back to the industry of radio, I see people with blinders on. Now, I don't think they all have them. When I talk to some people that are very successful, have had a very successful run in the industry, and they're, I think they're trying to put the pieces together to move on. The problem with at least the radio industry, and I'm sure many of you can relate to this, if you've worked in a job for a long time that you love, it is a very tough pill to swallow to get out of doing something that you love. And it makes you angry when the thing that you love has been replaced with something you can't do, can't touch, can't control. You're just literally told, leave. Thank you for your service. We don't need you anymore. That's a tough pill to swallow. That's the pill that I'm trying to swallow. And it's very tough. But I see people in the radio industry, and I'm going, dude, you've been doing it for 20 years, 25 years. You've maybe made $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year. I hope you've been smart with your money. That's great. And you've enjoyed life, and you think you're a celebrity in your city, and you get to go to the concerts for free. And, you've got a good amount of people on social media that follow you and think that you're cool. And that's great. But when you hit those brakes, when they hit those brakes and you're done, then what are you going to do? And that's what I've been trying to tell people. Like, I'm like, I need to start a company. Not that I'm like the poster child for success, but I should start a company or a support group of people and say, hey, look, dude, what are you doing next? Your life is not over. What are you doing? What is your plan? Because
you're the poster child for forced evolution.
I had to adapt. Yeah. I had to survive.
Yeah. Adapt or die.
I said, in my case, I'm like, I'm just going to be my own boss. Radio doesn't want me. Nor is there a place in radio for me. I'm not moving again for radio. I'm done chasing the brass ring. It's run by a lot of people, not 100%, but for the most part, it's run by people that just don't care about radio. I mean, it is like, if there's anybody who gets the business aspect of it, it's me. But you don't care about the audience. They don't care about the content. They care about surviving. I literally got a text from a guy in corporate for one of the big companies that says, within the conversation, we're literally just trying to get through the day. Mm-hmm. That is what this guy can make all kinds of deals. And he says, we're just trying to get through the day. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. What do you mean you're just trying to get, why? You're in a great medium where you can create and you can do, it's the supposedly the last of the rebellious mediums, and you're just trying to get through the day. Are you joking? Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? That's crazy. But anyway, back to the music thing. Again, my theory is that within the next 5, definitely 10 years, more people will be crediting creators for their favorite songs that they've created with AI than we've ever done, ever, obviously, because it's new. But artists won't be credited with the songs because the artist doesn't exist. The creator at Shopping Girl 534 on CapCut is going to be the superstar of that brand new song, Look at My Open-Toed Shoes. And the video is going to be great. It's all going to be done in AI.
It'll all be feet on OnlyFans.
Yeah, but we literally, my theory is that will be the new jargon of going, oh my God, dude, have you heard Shopping Girl 593, the creator on CapCut? That new song is banging. It's awesome. It's just so cool. Who sings it? No, that's not even going to be a question. That won't even be a question. Nobody's going to care who sings it because they know that it's AI generated. And that makes people like you, Ben, who is a vocalist in a rock band and has been a singer for quite some time, very, very sad.
It does. But luckily, I kind of saw some of this writing on the wall a while ago, and I have too accepted the fact I ain't getting paid for music no more.
Mm.
So when I hold that guitar, that's for me.
Mm. Yeah, do it for yourself.
Yep, you got to do it for you.
Well, here,
somebody else might care, but I can't bank on it.
If this makes you feel any better, Ben. So my theory that within the next 5-10 years, we will be crediting creators for songs versus artists or bands because AI is taking over and songs will just be generated by somebody on CapCut. Now, you as a musician makes you very, very sad, or any musician, I'm sure. I get it, but that's the future. I'm telling you right now, I'm a time traveler. But if it makes you feel any better, the person introducing that song on the radio, they're going to be probably made by the same creator in CapCut.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. All us humans will just sit back with some popcorn and watch the show as the world just goes crazy and we wait for John Connor.
And the listeners are all going to be from a farm in India.
Right. Or
computer
those
generated followers.
Everything that's a thing will be created by some internet cafe in India. Yeah. That's just how it's going to be. That's just so scary, man. I was looking at like advantages and disadvantages of AI, and it's reduction in human error as an advantage, which I don't know, man. There's so much emphasis put on human error. I'm a fan of human error because
that's how you figure it out.
Right. That's how you learn and that's how you evolve in the creative space. I mean, just Google this, maybe for another show, I'll Google it for you. But if you were to go through and see so many of the successes of things that we all know, they came from human error. That they were oopsie daisies, whether it's songs and how they were put together formula wise, lyrics, how they came up with it, reasons for, because of the human error that happened prior, products that we use, Viagra, I'm not saying it was a human error, but it was used as heart medication. And then they found out everybody's getting hard-ons. That's technically
hard medication.
That's technically a human error, right? I mean, so I've always said the search for perfection and to achieve perfection, imperfection is the imperfection of trying to achieve perfection makes it perfect. That's
You've always said that.
Yeah, I
missed. Did you say it that way?
Yeah, I do. I always screw it up. It enhances decision making, advantages of AI, works 24/7 without fatigue. See that now that's the other one.
Thought you were still listing Viagra pluses.
We kind of asked for this AI, right? Because we've gone through in the workforce our our work ethic is nowhere near what it was with our grandparents, you know,
Mhm.
or our parents. You know, their work ethic was totally different, especially for the younger generation. Bitching and complaining about, you know, not making enough, you know, they got these crazy raises, which then made businesses up their prices, which made customers go, I don't want to go there or try to find the money. I mean, like it was just this snowball effect for you to make $15 an hour. I don't disagree that the minimum wage was low. I don't disagree with that at all. But like we had this huge jump in the last couple years because it was like, I need to make what a lawyer makes because I'm here flipping burgers. There's no difference. I'm working, you're working. You know, we went through that time of whiny, whiny, cry, cry, and you got what you wanted, but then you quit because there's a difference between a job and a career. You know, a job flipping burgers at McDonald's, that's something you do after high school. That's something you do to learn how to be in the workforce
During high school.
during high school in order to get into a career. We got that twisted in the last couple years. So our attitude towards working, you know, then you get into the illegal immigration and what illegal immigrants were doing that Americans did not want to do. And I mean, like, it's a thing. Customer service, retail goes away. So, I mean, there were people that made a living. My mother worked in retail for most of her life. Yes, it's still a thing, but it's far and few between, right? So the 24/7 fatigue, we kind of asked for, like, we brought that upon ourselves. We not to say it wouldn't have happened without bitching and complaining, but we didn't, I guess we didn't like the way that the world worked in the workforce. So that's what you get. You get a computer to replace you that won't bitch and complain. It increases efficiency and automation, improves personalization and user experiences. Now, here's the disadvantages: lack of human creativity and emotional intelligence.
Hello.
That's a big one.
Passion.
Yeah, passion. I agree. Risk of job displacement. So, does it explain what that is? What does that mean? If it
Risk
doesn't,
of job displacement.
yeah, does it mean what I think it means?
I mean, you get fired because a computer's doing it now.
Yeah, but this is the disadvantage of AI. So what they're saying is the risk of job displacement is that there's no more risk
Job for you.
yeah, but there's no more risk of a human being going, I better do this well or I'm going to get fired. Is that what they're saying? Or how do you take it?
I take it as because this AI can do your job now, you're at risk of not having a job. That's a disadvantage to AI.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so this is an
Yeah.
overall I guess I'm thinking
Yeah.
like in the work spot. Oh, I got it. You're right. Okay, I got it. Okay. Privacy and security concerns. They say that's a disadvantage. Ethical concerns and AI bias. You've got to explain to me what AI bias is. If it's a computer, how can it be bias? That's a weird thing to put on paper.
Who created the computer?
Right.
And did they insert their own biases into its decision making?
Mm-hmm. You know, right now, there are people that probably have already developed AI systems that are putting things in those systems just to totally end the world.
Bugs, yeah.
Like, so now you have to be secure. Like, if you're getting this AI software to do something for the government or this and this and that, and to automate the water supply and the power grids and all these kinds of things, where are you getting that information? And in that information, all those lines of code, is that, I mean, is it okay? Is it secure? I mean, that would scare the living daylights out of me. It does scare the living daylights out of me. Because, like, that's another thing. Like, I don't mind if I walk outside of my house one day and I see fighter jets from Russia and Cuba, you know, like Red Dawn style, attacking that's old school real war. I don't mind that because I can grab my gun. At least I can fight my way to a certain point. Probably not going to last too long, but at least I can give it the old college try.
Yeah.
That's old school. What I don't want to happen is walk outside my door and the whole world is coming to an end because there's a bug in some code in some AI that we decided to utilize instead of utilizing a person that knows what they're doing. That's what I don't want. Like the end of the world because of a bug in code and AI. That's crappy.
Ring camera. Ring camera is the gateway to the end of the world.
How so?
They're tracking everything and they're making models of movement everywhere. Every citizen no longer has privacy because of their creature of habit mentality. And now there's a database full of all of it.
Mm, yeah.
You ever see Person of Interest?
No, I have not.
That's a show that you would probably really get into based on this conversation. It's from a few years ago, so
That's fine.
you know,
I'm
Person of
blacklisting
Interest.
it still. I'm blacklisting it from whatever year that was. That's fine.
Also a great show. Jim Caviezel stars this guy that was a military dude, and this rich guy has figured
Jesus.
out how to hack into all the world's cameras.
That's Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy played
Yeah,
the Passion of the Christ.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And also Pay It Forward. He was in that too.
So the Ring camera, like for after 9/11, we all signed up for the Patriot Act. We thought it was the hip snips, the cat's pajamas, right? Like whatever we've got to do to get the bad guys. Well, point government. You know, you got us, those damn planes and the bombs that you and say you got us. You got us right where you want us. Like this is the long game. Think about where we were pre 9/11 and post 9/11 and how much the world has changed for not the better, right? This all started on 9/11, leading up to 9/11. We've been this is a 24-year project with people in place. I mean, you want to get into conspiracy theories, dude, let's go. This is not just we look at things in a day-to-day operations. Oh, AI is the newest and latest and greatest. It's like MySpace. And then something will come after that. This is all pre-planned. It starts with us going, hey, look, feel free to look up in my anus at night with your ring cam. I have no problem. And you can tell me about it. Cool, dude.
For my freedom.
Yeah, for my freedom. If it helps me get the bad guys, I'm in. I was there with you. I'm not saying that I was anti-Patriot Act. I bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. But now you look back and it's out of control. We have zero control of what is happening moving forward with the world. I mean, you can control what you do, but it's a lot more difficult to figure out your path now today with whatever skill set that you have in order to survive. It's very, very difficult. I'm still struggling with this. I mean, there's not a day that does not go by that I don't say to myself, I'm done with this. I'm done with the radio.
I'm sad now.
Podcast. Why are you sad?
Because this is all too real. Jeez.
I'm not trying to scare people, but I mean,
it's all right.
The last disadvantage of AI, and we'll bring on Manny, potential for misuse and deep fakes and misinformation. Yeah. So that's the thing. All right, let's bring on to the BS podcast. He is one of our fine sponsors, OG sponsors, the AuroraLawFirm.com. He is my good buddy trying to figure out his camera, the best damn defense attorney in the land. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Mad Dog Manny Arora.
Hey.
How are you guys?
I'm good.
I like how you got the shirt, the logo in there. That's good.
Yeah.
Product placement.
Trying to figure out your car. You coming from court? What are you doing?
I'm going to a semifinal playoff match for Alta seniors today because we got rained out, so we had to play it today. And so I'm in the parking lot of the neighborhood. We're going to play at 10 o'clock, but I didn't want to miss my appearance because I love being here.
Who are you? Who's your partner?
It's a guy named Michael Shearer. He's a very active 70-year-old. But that's what happens in the senior leagues, and you play some really crafty folks. And
aren't you a very active 70-year-old?
I'm not quite 70 yet, late 50s, but I'm like the hot girl on the court because I'm the youngest one, out of the group usually. So it's nice.
So is this with your community at Huntcliffe? Like Lowell is on there and all that stuff?
Thankfully, Lowell is not on there.
Oh, okay.
At least this season, he's figured it out. But it's a lot of other people that are actually nice. So
well, David Lowell's nice. He's just different. He's like everyone's favorite asshole.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Apparently not everyone's.
Now
just
you
yours.
So just a little backtracking for those that don't know. When I started playing tennis again, when I moved to Atlanta in 2013, I was playing with I wasn't living in the community that Manny lives in, but I was playing with them at that community. And it was fun, good group of guys, good dudes. And, obviously over years, things have changed. But when we went to play them from the new place that I was playing, you guys had a guy on your team, some big guy, like kind of fat, big, bolsterous guy. Does he still play with you?
Yeah, he still plays, but he's just completely immobile because he's had a knee surgery and some other stuff, but he still thinks he's 25. So
yeah, biggest asshole I've ever met. Biggest asshole I've ever met. The guy's the biggest dick. Like, we almost got into it, and this guy, I'm like, dude, I'm not going to fight you, but I will take my tennis racket and I will hit your knees because he's a large man. Just a dick, man. Like, I cannot say enough bad things about this guy. Really disliked him. Anyway, well, I'm glad he's not playing with you. How's everything at the Arora law firm, Manny Arora? Everything good? Big cases? What's going on?
Everything's good. As you know, I think we talked about it last time. We've shrunk by 2 lawyers, and it always gets slow about this time of year when the holidays are coming up. But we've spent a lot of time. We've got 5 terabytes of information on that bank merger case that we talked about. Then we have some PPP loan fraud cases in the 20 million plus range that's going on. That's kind of international, stuff like that. Nothing riveting like a good murder that the people want to hear about.
You probably want to jump in on that big gambling bust case. I mean, that's sexy and right up your alley, and it has to deal with athletes, which you've represented plenty of those over the years.
Yeah, that's for sure. But unfortunately, we haven't gotten the call. I think one was out of Portland,
right,
and then the other fellow was down in Miami. But it'll all work itself out.
You can't hire somebody to go drop a hint. I know you can't directly call them and say, "Hey, that's solicitation," so you don't do it.
No,
you hire somebody in a trench coat to go, "Hey, you know who could help you?" Manny Arora.
That's like sports agents for their runners and stuff. Yeah, we don't really need that.
How would you represent, let's say, like for those that don't know, there were, at least as of this recording, 34 indicted in this big gambling case. We did a whole episode on it. There was like 2 different aspects of it. There's the sports betting aspect of it, where they'd get insider information, possibly shaving of the points, so on and so forth, really directed towards basketball. And then there's the poker aspect of it, where they had some alleged mafia ties, which this is like just watch Molly's Game, and I'm sure this is the exact same thing. And so they had what they called face cards. That's what they were calling the people of name, the celebrities, the athletes that would try to attract these other people, but the games were rigged. So the amateur, the neophyte in the game is winning. So a lot of these professional poker players that were invited to this game, you've heard, I follow them on social media. You've heard them speak out. They're speaking out even before the bust. They're like, I wanted nothing to do with these games, because they can spot from a mile away when there's some shadiness going on. So if, let's say, Chauncey Billups reaches out to Manny Arora with the Arora law firm, what do you say to him? How do you defend him in this situation?
Well, I mean, you got to figure out why he did it to begin with. Can't imagine he needed the money as far as that goes. So,
right.
It's easy to say from what we define it that way. You could do a coercion defense and say you were essentially forced to do it. But I guess we just don't know enough of the details. How much was his profit? What were the threats? Were they real as far as that goes? And then you got the player down in Miami that would, take himself out of the game to do the over-unders or the amount of points he was going to score, or if the first shot was going to be a 3-pointer. I think prop bets have made it very lucrative for people to cheat now as far as that goes. And unfortunately, that's easy to do, right? First shot in the third quarter is going to be you, and so you're the guy and you're going to get paid. So you take a 3-pointer, or you drive the lane or whatever. I think gambling was always an issue in the past, but the prop bets make it so easy for these players to actually make a couple of bucks. So
especially the easy ones, the prop bets for the Super Bowl, that what color is the Gatorade on the sideline? They don't secure the Gatorade. The Gatorade's sitting there. If you know someone that's on the sideline, just shoot them a text and they'll tell you.
Prop bet?
Yeah, for a Super Bowl, it's always a prop bet. Yeah. What color?
Or like the guy that's going to sing the national anthem. I mean, you can just say, hey, add 3 more seconds or hold that last note. And next thing you know, you made a couple $1,000.
Right. Depending on what you're betting on stuff. Well, with the gambling stuff, I think it's again, I'm sure you've seen the movie Molly's Game. It's more focused on the bad guys because these professional athletes are making so much money and have made so much money. What they were getting from these games was like peanuts. It was nothing, like $10, $15, $20,000. It just didn't make any sense. So there's always more to a story. The FBI is after the organized crime. They're not after the celebrities. The celebrities makes it news media worthy, but I don't think that the celebrities that are involved are that name worthy. Like, who cares what Chauncey Billups is doing? Like, I mean, like, who cares? Even if you're a diehard basketball fan, do you really care? Is that gonna change your day? The names aren't big enough to get me interested in this. I'm just liking it because it's poker.
I want to meet Flappy
Flappy poker.
Flappy's the one.
Some of the nicknames.
Well, how many big games have you been into, Jason? Because the big thing in Atlanta before prop bets started, there was always these big games with athletes and former baseball players and stuff that you and I've talked about in the past.
Yeah.
But they would get robbed because people would find out, and in these gated communities in North Atlanta, like Alpharetta and stuff, for people that don't know, they would get robbed because there'd be tens of thousands, if not $100,000 plus.
Yeah.
Games going on with $5,000 and $10,000 buy-ins with a lot of famous people. But I don't know. How do you stop it is the question with the prop bets, and then who ratted them out, or how did they figure it out? I can't imagine there's these gambling companies are allowing the government to do, monitoring as how the bets are being put in, like the SEC does. They look at, how many stocks are being bought if there's spikes in certain purchases, but that's government controlled.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do we ever fix this? How do we ever know? And I think the NFL referees are probably the worst instigators in this with some of the penalties that we've seen over the last couple of years. How would you ever catch it? Because every play has a holding. How do you fix any of those kinds of things as far as that goes? And then why do certain teams, when they're at the 2-yard line at the end, take a knee versus kick a field goal, stuff like that? It's
right.
And the NFL's biggest sponsor is a gambling site, right?
Right. Well, even in Georgia, where gambling is illegal, you go and watch the Falcons play. They've got an entire suite that's sponsored by Harrah's in Cherokee, North Carolina, and Murphy, North Carolina. Oh, dude, I've been ranting about that for years. So going back to, have I played in any games like that? I've never played in a big game like that. I don't have the money to play in those games, but I've played in enough like rounders like games. So depending on the state that you're in, Georgia, for example, gambling is illegal. So there's plenty of games, if you know the right people, that you can play in. I mean, you go to a certain location that doesn't look like anything. It's dark. You push a button, a door opens. You go to another room. You talk to a guy. You look in a camera. You push another button. You get into another room. And it's like a casino with an ATM and food and drinks and poker tables and TVs. It's pretty cool, right?
Is this first person knowledge?
Oh yeah, I've been there, done that. It's great, and I've never had any issues with those games. In the state of Florida, for example, the Seminoles owned gambling. Like you can't, they're the one. I mean, now they've opened it up with outside of the pari-mutuels, and they found loopholes with table games in these card rooms and stuff, like in Daytona and Orange City and in Jacksonville and whatnot. But they don't want you having these games at your house. You can play poker at your house, and you can play poker for money at your house. You just can't take a rake. Once you take a rake, that's when it becomes illegal, because that's when it becomes an illegal business operation. Again, watch the movie Molly's Game, and it explains, what the rake is, which is a percentage of the pot in order to cover the house's losses. So, and in order to make money as well. I don't think the poker thing in this case, Manny, with the FBI, I don't think law enforcement cares if you're having a poker game. I've played in numerous poker games with law enforcement, okay, at the table, or politicians at the table. That's not the thing. The sports betting, to me, is more worrisome because of everything that you had mentioned. And as far as the poker goes, that's just kind of a cherry on top because it involved some mobsters, which makes the FBI look good if you're able to get them off the streets.
Sure. I just worry about all the people because poker's so addictive, and the marketing. When you see commercials, how many commercials you see during any one football game or basketball game, tennis matches, anything?
For gambling,
They're
not
targeting it
poker.
to young. I'm sorry, for gambling, and they market those prop bets to younger males, and they're the most addictive type personalities. As far as this is going to end up being a problem because it's so easy to sit on your computer, like our friend in the tennis thing. You remember how we'd go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
When he'd have a party at his house, he's got a computer up. He's betting on every single play. Runner pass, boom, boom. It's
Yeah.
$1 or whatever he bet.
So,
But I mean, it was just like addictive.
So what they've done is they've the idea of, okay, so there used to be, I mean, there still is, there's sports betting and there's poker. They're two totally different worlds. Poker is not gambling. It's a game of chance, 70-30, as said by a judge, right? And it's true. It's not like the lottery, or it's not like bingo at your church. That's the purest form of gambling. But what has happened now with all these sites, BetMGM and DraftKings and FanDuel and Prize Picks or whatever, all these different sites that you can go to, not here in Florida, but everywhere else, is that you had those prop bets. So it's very easy just to say, okay, Josh Allen, first touchdown scorer, I only do $5. So I'm going to put $5. Well, what happens when you do $5? If you start hitting, next time you're going to do $10, and then you're going to do $15, then you can do $20. And that's just how that evolves. So it's gone from a mixture of poker to sports betting as far as the idea of gambling. It's just pick one. It's no big deal. Just pick one. It's very easy. You don't have to have any knowledge. Like in sports betting, you want to know weather, girlfriend, you want all those old school shows of guys in New York, and he's walking around. He's like, yeah, I found out he just got broken up with by his girlfriend. He's going to be upset. He's going to have a bad game. We're putting all the money on the under. You don't have to know that. You just have to guess. All you got to do is guess. And then when you see these stories of people hitting 8, 9, 10 leg parlays, $10 makes them $30,000. You're like, for $10 for 30K, I'm guilty of that. I do it every Sunday. I'm in, So it's fun. I'm not going to say it's not. It's fun. It's more fun when you win.
Are you a good guesser?
I'm actually a pretty decent guesser. Well, I've learned to hedge my bets. That's the thing. I mean, Manny, you're not a gambler, are you?
Not anymore. I used to be in law school and stuff. It's really super addictive. I mean, that's back then when we would get weather reports on everything. I got so analytical about it.
Mm-hmm.
Turf conditions, all that stuff. Like Jason was saying, I mean, they used to write, weekly updates on every game, every player, all that kind of stuff. And you would subscribe to it and you'd get all these things. This is all before the internet. So every week you'd get a mailing back there. That's when Jimmy the Greek was a thing and all those kinds of things, that you thought about. But now you watch ESPN and they've got their own betting site, right? So when they're giving you advice on what to do, this or that, you even think it's remotely legitimate because they're doing it for ESPN to make money. So are they steering you in the wrong direction? It's like, I can't trust anything anymore because ESPN isn't giving you advice to win when you go to ESPN Bet, because then they would lose money. So that's where I find it as a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I think they want you to win. They want you to win enough that you'll come back to lose a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the end, they want you to lose, but I'm just saying, it's like, if your boss is the one that's running the casino, you're not sort of telling the people, this is how you beat the casino kind of thing. So I'm just sort of curious about all this.
Yeah, but also don't let's not get this twisted. Is just because it exists doesn't mean that these gambling sites are at fault if you get addicted. I hate that excuse, because there's plenty, I don't see the liquor store in the corner being sued because you have an alcohol problem. It's your decision to open up the app. It is your decision to put the money on there. Just because it's available does not mean you have to do it. You can buy guns and knives, doesn't mean you have to be a murderer.
No, I get it, but what you got to recognize is these algorithms are designed to draw you in. That's why there's so much social media stuff when they're talking about Facebook and TikTok, how people end up getting sucked in. People get addicted to a lot of things. These are algorithms that are intentionally coming after it to get you out there. Now, the liquor store on the other side, they're not advertising anything. You can drive by, you can do whatever, but they're not on your phone doing these things. There's a specific reason why the algorithms are the way they are, why you spend so much time doing these things, why you believe this. I mean, look at any teenage child. You're going to say every teenager that's on TikTok, or they're just making a choice. I mean, it's the algorithms are there for a reason. I mean, they're not there to, be nice to you. It's to get you hooked on that stuff, and you understand who the personalities are, and that's why you target it. That's why in the old days, when they used to have those commercials, but they'd have the subliminal messages built in. You remember how all that got kicked out in the 70s and 80s to trick your mind into thinking something? These algorithms are pretty dangerous.
They're still there. They're there with alcohol, and the advertisements are still there with alcohol. I mean, there's
I get it, but when it's so on your phone and the algorithm then sucks you in to do it, it feels like if I want to go on TikTok, next thing I know, you start this video, it knows what you like, it feeds this, the ads come out that way. It's because they know the brain is wired a certain way to make you do this. It's like you couldn't be hungry, but the ads start coming up because you like pizza while you're watching TikTok. Next thing you know, it's this.
Budweiser makes
a little
you
bit
think
more devious.
Yeah, Budweiser makes you think you don't love your country unless you drink it. I mean, you're not having a good time unless you're having a captain. So that's this. I would even argue alcohol is worse because of the chemical addiction that is involved once you get addicted to. There's the endorphin addiction with gambling, but that's totally different than your body going through withdrawal.
Right, that's advertising. I get that, but versus on your phone when the algorithm's designed, once you're just to look at it, it sucks you in. It's sort of like
it does that with alcohol too. You just don't drink enough to see it, apparently.
Right. Yeah, but that's a little bit more affirmative. It's like when things are looking at your phone and there's a computer program that's reading you as far as that goes. I mean, well, anyway,
that's what we're talking
about. I just want to
understand.
I think it's going to get worse, and that's why every one of those things has that little fine print at the bottom: 1-800-Gamblers Anonymous or whatever, because they're required to say it for whatever that's worth. But
same with alcohol. They, it's have a water or whatever. If you have an alcohol problem, they got to do that, and and that's how they kind of. That's their scapegoat. It's like, look,
get away with it.
We gave you an 800 number. It's not our problem. Up at the poker room, I see these guys that are younger than me. I mean, some of them are kids that are there every day, and this is how they make a living. It blows my mind. As much as I love the game of poker, I can only do something so much so often. I cannot be up there. I could not be up there with a family and a business and a life and sunshine for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. That's crazy. Now, I guess if you train yourself to say win, lose, or draw, I'm here for 6 hours and I'm out. And there's
out of 5.
Yeah. And there's plenty of people that do that and are like there's guys that we call daytime Teddy, who just goes up there during the day and then he leaves, win, lose, or draw, and then goes again the next day. And that's his job. But the tough thing is even when you're up, when you're down, when you're up, you're like, man, just another hour, just one more hand. That's the problem. At least with alcohol, you pass out. I don't need another drink.
It's like, I'm up $5,000. Let's just let it ride on this. I'm feeling good.
It's not my money. I'm free rolling. It's the house's money.
House's money.
Yeah, it's the house's money. You don't have to do all that. All right. I know you've got your tennis match coming up here, so let me get to the emails. Here's the cool thing about this episode with the Mad Dog Manny Arora with the Arora Law Firm. These questions for Manny. Manny comes on a couple times a month, right? These all came from jasonbailey.com. There is a section. We've made it very, very easy on jasonbailey.com where you can ask the Mad Dog questions. I get the email. I put them in a folder, and then I just go and grab a couple each episode. But both of these questions that I grabbed came from jasonbailey.com. So thank you to both Lisa and Jim for the questions, and for everybody else, that's what I need you to do. Any legal questions you want the Mad Dog to answer, jasonbailey.com. With that being said, first question for the Mad Dog Manny Arora with the Arora Law Firm from Lisa. I had a DUI in Cobb County, March 2015. Went to court in September 2015 and got probation and customer service. Probation.
Community service.
Yeah, that's what I think she meant.
Yeah.
Probation lifted in May 2016. Any way to get this off my background check?
If she pled to a DUI, there isn't. If she would have shot somebody that didn't die in Georgia, you can do it. But DUI, we are not allowed to do that under the law for DUIs. So the Mad Mothers control a lot of that stuff. ever. The DUI is there. Now, if she pled to something that was reduced, like reckless driving, whatever, then, there's options. But a DUI, unfortunately, no, it's one of those things that you can't take off your record.
You shoot somebody, it can get expunged. You
Right.
drink a little too much,
Yes.
and you're screwed.
Yes.
Wow.
Even
Go Georgia.
I think even pedophiles can get some stuff expunged.
Not anymore.
Oh, not anymore. Okay,
Not if they were
No,
drinking.
They changed it several years ago.
that's crazy that you can't get that expunged.
Yeah, DUI is a big deal here.
Well, DUI should be. Well, look, I end every show
I
with
mean, as for marking your career as far as it goes, yes, DUI is a big deal everywhere. But I mean, they make it really difficult to where there's no way to recover from it, even if it's your first time. But in Pennsylvania, other places, they'll wipe your record if it's a first off and there's no injuries and stuff. But yeah, not in Georgia. You're stuck if you plead to a DUI.
So prosecutors should start adding that alcohol was involved to every crime, so it has to stay on record. Period. Can't get it go away. Boom.
Well, yeah, you might, go and get your. So if you had a DUI and a shooting and some other stuff all mixed into one indictment, the other counts could get expunged, but the DUI is always going to stick if you plead to it or get
That's
convicted.
crazy.
Well, outside of a job where you have to drive, will jobs not hire you if you've got a DUI on your record?
I mean, it depends on the job and what you did, because if you get in another accident, you could be sued for negligent hiring because the guy's got a problem. But if it's somebody that's gone through rehab and this and you feel good about it, that's fine. But there is a liability issue. It's called respondeat superior, that you're responsible for your employees' actions as long as they're not outside the normal course of business,
That's crazy. Next question for the Mad Dog Manny Arora with the Arora Law Firm, the AuroraLawFirm.com. Remember these questions every time Manny comes on the BS podcast. You can get them to me via jasonbailey.com right there on the homepage. Just look for the section, send me the question, we'll get it answered. This is from Jim. My daughter was in a car accident. Which was her fault? Other than the fact that the car was totaled, one of the passengers in the car died. What we're being told is that she didn't die because of the crash per se, but had a heart attack because they had prior medical issues. How's this going to play out, and what do I do? It's a good one.
So was the daughter driving and her passenger died, or somebody she hit?
I'm reading it that his daughter was driving, got in the car accident with another car. I would assume, I mean, let's just say for conversation's sake, that the two people in the other car were elderly, and one of the passenger in the car that she hit died, but not because per se of the accident, but she had a heart attack or something. That's how
it's going to depend. Is it an accident, or were you speeding, being reckless, or doing anything else? Because if you were driving recklessly, speeding, playing on your cell phone, any of those kinds of things that led to the accident, then you could be charged potentially with first-degree vehicular homicide, which is up to a 15-year offense. It's 3 to 15 in our state as far as that goes. The fact that she died from a heart attack doesn't matter, because the accident is the proximate cause that led to all those kinds of things. Otherwise, if I shoot somebody, they go to the hospital, get an infection, and die, you can say, hey, I'm not responsible. He didn't die because of the shot. The hospital gave him an infection. It doesn't work that way. You started the chain of events that went on. So
the catalyst is guilt.
Well, I mean, your conduct, right? So if you're doing 55 and a 35 and you lose control and you crash and somebody dies, it doesn't matter if they died 2 days later, 3 days later. If that injury led to whatever, then they're going to be on the hook. There's also going to be a lawsuit. They call it the eggshell plaintiff. If you get into a trouble with somebody, you take them at the condition that they're in, as long as your actions started the chain of events.
Mm-hmm. My mother-in-law, now that I think of it, some years ago was in an accident, and so the car was driven by an elderly man, ran a stop sign, hit her car. He died of a heart attack after it happened. So she didn't hit him, but if she ran that stop sign and hit him and he were to have a heart attack, could she be charged with manslaughter?
Vehicular homicide is what they call it in most states, but absolutely. And she'd probably do some time because now she's reckless for running the stop sign and hitting him. So take the heart attack out of it. Let's just say They stabilize him in the ambulance. He gets to the hospital, catches an infection while he's there and dies. You're still going to be on the hook for it because you started the chain of events. There's got to be something so dramatic that intervenes for the death to take away responsibility. For example, if that person goes to the hospital and a hospital shooter shows up and just starts shooting everybody and kills them, then you're not going to be on the hook because there's an extreme causal break between your accident and how the person died. But in the hospital, you have a risk of infections, you have a risk of medical malpractice, you have a risk of misdiagnosis, but you, as the party in the car that ran the stop sign, is responsible because you started the chain of events.
I'm going to use that advice, Manny Arora, for my daughter because, you know, I had that Life 360 app, you know, for my daughter where you can track her and you know when her cell phone's not being charged and all kinds of stuff. So when she drives, you can see how fast she's going in her car. Now, she's good when she drives. She's a good driver. But it's her roommate that when the roommate drives, they're doing like 88, 90 miles per hour. And I call her immediately and I'm like, tell her to slow down. There is nowhere that you need to get to go that fast.
How do you know that it's her roommate?
Because I know who she's with. She tells me, you know, I'm like, who's driving? And she tells me who's driving. So, and also we have her roommate on the Life 360 app as well. So like there's this big group.
That's serious helicoptering, man. That's like Big Brother shit right there.
Dude, I got to know where my
surprise she lets you keep going. Yeah, that's great.
Need to know where my princess is at and who she's with at all times. But all the parents are like in this together. Like, so we're all kind of, you know, part of the same group. I'm not on it, but they're all on it. So, but I do this vicariously through my wife. Anyway, I'm going to tell them, I'm going to tell the roommate, I'm like, look, I'm tell my daughter, like, here's the thing. 90 miles per hour is a lot different than 65 miles per hour. Two totally different worlds. A lot can happen with that difference of miles per hour. Let's say that you're driving the speed limit and you get in a car accident and something happens versus getting in a car accident and you're doing 90 miles per hour versus driving the speed limit. There's a lot more charges that are going to rain down on you because you were going that fast, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See? Boom.
Because that would be considered reckless because it's 90 and a 65 in our state, we super speeder, and a lot of states have super speeder type laws. So that inherently makes it reckless. And clearly accidents can happen at speed. That's why they say speed thrills but kills.
Right. So that's another 100 years in jail, I'm going to tell. Like, you will get another 100 years in federal penitentiary by just going, and you're going to sit there in the first couple of days. You're going to be like, only if I were to have gone 25 miles per hour less, this would not have happened. But I had to drive fast because it's cool. Even nobody saw me or no one cares. I had to drive fast. Like, and nobody gets to a destination after they drive fast and go, I drove 100 miles per hour to get here. Like, nobody says that. And if you do, you sound like a douchebag, right? So there's no point.
Douchebags do say that.
That's why the whole, like, look, if you're into fast cars, I get it, right? I get it. You go and you race them and, you know, you appreciate the speed and all that stuff. If you're an enthusiast like that, I get it. But for most people, there's no reason. I see it on the interstate all the time. I'm on I-4 and some guy the other day, you know, in a Ford Explorer from like 1998, he's flying down the interstate. And then I'm in the fast lane because I was going around the middle car and I'm doing like 70, 75, doing speed limit. This dude runs up on my ass. I'm like, relax. I'm getting over. Then he's flashing me. Okay, I got it. I have no problem with you flashing me. I'm getting out of your way. You might have an emergency. I have no idea what your situation is. Then I get over and he gets up next to me. And instead of continuing to go on his way, he sits there and he stares me down and he's honking at me like I just murdered his first child. I'm like, dude, like, relax. I mean, this all happened within 5 seconds. It's just take a breath, people. Relax. Anyway, best of luck. You playing ad or deuce side?
I think I'm playing ad side today. Yep.
Wait, ad side?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, focus on your tennis match. Okay.
Certainly.
Yes, Ben?
I just thought about your situation with the Explorer guy. Say you had done finger guns out your window.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs into the wall. Manny, is there any blame here? Is there any fault, or is it his word against mine?
Well, yeah, how are they going to prove that Jason's finger gun did anything? Plus, the guy was, speeding, and I'm sure there's going to be other cars when he,
I do have a
crashes to see
camera in
what
my car.
happened.
I have a camera in my car. They could see it.
Yeah, I don't think finger guns are going to count as far as that goes. Plus, I assume if you're from Florida, you got your insane window tint anyway, so I doubt anybody could see anything.
I wish my window tint guy has no called me 4 different times. So
don't pick your nose while you're driving.
I'm done with that. It's good to see that you're hydrating with that soda from McDonald's before you go and play tennis.
I was thinking that too.
I don't drink coffee, so I just need a pick me up in the morning. So I love McDonald's Diet Coke. If your viewers Google it, there is articles scientifically based why McDonald's Diet Coke tastes better. It's a higher pressure. It's kept colder. Straws are bigger, so the bubble burn in the back of your throat feels better. McDonald's Diet Coke is the jam.
Can I send you a link to some supplements that would help you immensely versus drinking soda?
Yeah, you sound like my wife. It's gonna kill you. It's this or that. Look, I say I don't smoke crack and I don't cheat on you. Can I just have some diet soda a couple times a day? It's just like, whatever, man.
And I'm not saying don't drink your diet soda. I'm just saying add some supplements and some natural good stuff to your diet soda diet. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to take anything away. I'm trying to add.
We'll talk about it.
That's the difference between me and your wife.
Okay.
There's a lot of.
She definitely wants to take away the diet soda and eat healthier and all that stuff. I'm like, whatever.
Well, there's something to it. I mean, look, we could get into the conversation of microplastics and the heavy metals and the mold and the bacteria. I mean, it is a real thing. But
that's true.
The what I've learned in the space that we're at with a live ozone therapy spa is women are more open and more forthcoming and more aggressive with taking care of themselves than men. Men are out of sight, out of mind. Unless I am on my deathbed, nothing is wrong with me. I can do a biometric scan to your face and actually show you what is wrong with you within 20 minutes. And you still are going to find a reason why you can't schedule 30 minutes with me once a week in order to be healthier. Guys are weird like that, man. And then they come back to us when they're diagnosed with cancer. They're like, can you help me? Like, yeah, tried to help you 2 years ago too, that kind of thing.
So, wouldn't quit drinking.
Well, it's just, drink Diet Coke or whatever. But it's like, you go to the doctor and you come out sick. It's like, I was feeling fine when I got in here. Now you tell me all this other shit, your liver shot, it's this or that. Look, I'm not a raging alcoholic. This is my vice. My one vice is Diet Coke.
Well, that's because you're going to a traditional doctor. You're Indian. You should be into holistic medicine. Like, that's your thing. This is from your people. You should be.
I'll just eat more turmeric.
Turmeric's good. Turmeric's good.
Yeah.
And it's a fun word.
Jason was so liberal. Look at this stuff.
Well, I do own a Central Florida's first and only ozone. Look, I hate the word liberal. Let me tell you why. Because people have turned it into a political term. Everyone is liberal. Every single person, whether you vote right or not or left, you're liberal, because the definition of liberal is being open to do something different. And unless every day for your entire life you've eaten the same breakfast, the same lunch, and the same dinner, you have a liberal mindset, meaning that, hey, look, I'm not interested in Cheerios today. I'm not interested in it. You know what I mean? It always has driven me insane. And look, I upset Manny so much that he just went dark.
He left.
Just went dark on us. All right. Well, Manny, I don't know if you can hear us.
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay. Well, you've gone from Middle East to black. Yes, I can hear you, but we can't see you.
Okay, sorry.
Those Middle Easterns love their caves, let me tell you. we can't see them. All right, look, good luck in your tennis match. I'm rooting for you. Use those legs, focus, punch out, focus on the ball, get some good stuff, hit some top spin, and when you can, hit the guy at the net in the face. That's
maybe get a flashlight too. Just my advice.
All right, I gotta let you go. The black hole's killing me. All right, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, see ya. All right, theAuroraLawFirm.com. I gotta fix all that in post.
Damn editing process.
I know. Now that I'm doing it. All right, let's wrap up this episode with your what the fuck video.
what the fuck?
Hey, me again, guys. Come on down to WL Appliances at 5059 Edgewater Drive, Monday through Sunday, 10 to 6. Come check out our scary new deals we got over here. And don't be scared of these deals.
There's a reason why I use that. So it's a local commercial done in Orlando. Obviously, you can see the information for an appliance store. I don't know where this is. It obviously came up on my feed because we were in the market recently for a new washer and dryer for the spa. And so I'm searching, I'm Googling, and then I posted one on Facebook to sell the old one and this and this and that. And this thing pops up. I love this type of marketing. Orlando is synonymous with it. If you go back to the 90s, depending on how long you've lived in Orlando, we had some of this viral marketing before viral marketing was a thing. Ice cold AC. I don't know if you remember that, Ben. I believe his name is Brian Powers. They were used car dealership on the right coast, and they would have these infomercials that would air overnight.
Was it Bob Dance and Buster?
No. His name was Brian. I believe it was Brian.
No, but there was another one, right? Bob Dance and Buster. The dog.
No idea. That's not the one I'm talking about. The one I'm talking about is, there was a big guy and I think his brother, they were redheaded. They were just really fat dudes. And there was the receptionist, which I forget her name. Darlene. And I don't think you ever saw Darlene.
That's fitting.
And they would be afraid of Darlene, and they were acting. I mean, these things were like an hour, 2 hours long, but then they would they would do a bit, they do a skit, and then they go to the cars. Like, look at this 1998 Toyota Celica with ice cold AC, Darlene. It was so bad, but I believe it went viral. And again, when I say viral, I'm not talking because the internet viral wasn't a thing. TV viral, word of mouth viral. I think Jon Stewart on The Daily Show ran it. He got wind of it and he ran the commercial, which put them on the map as this thing. So that was bad marketing that went well.
I feel like we need to run that commercial.
Well, hold on. Then there's Appliance Direct,
yes,
which had the Asian guy. And he goes, if you dare buy, you buy too much. Just straight up in your face, broken English. It was awesome.
Appliance Direct.
Which made us all racist because we loved him and the commercial so much that we would copy him and say, if you didn't buy Appliance Direct, you pay too much. We weren't making fun of him. We were honoring him. But if you were to pull that off in today's world, you would be a racist, which is crap because we love the Asian guy from Appliance Direct. You pay too much. It's just the way he said it because he was Asian and he had broken English. It was awesome. So anyway, that's why I played that for the what the fuck video, because I have an appreciation for bad marketing. Whether
he knew he could re-record it though.
Well, that's the thing is I don't think that's on purpose. Like I think he did it and kept it because there's a string of these commercials for the same appliance store with these dudes that, they're not mic'd up. They don't have lavalier mics on. They just have a camera and they're moving appliances and they're talking to the camera. And it's so bad, but it makes you watch it because you're waiting for turn 4. All right.
Does it make you go to the store? This appliance store smells like weed.
Yeah. You know what? I might, to be honest with you. An appliance is an appliance. If I can get it at a good price, I don't care where I buy it from. The washer and dryer, we needed to upgrade. That's why we got it. It's a stackable one.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I bought when we opened up Alive, I didn't realize it holds like 5 towels, right? And we wash towels all the time because we have so many patients. So we went from like a 2.4 cubic, whatever, to a 5.8, which is now we can do a bunch of towels. Anyway, went to an appliance discount place. I just Googled it. It was close by, Asian woman. And there was one right there, less money than I thought I was going to have to buy. I was looking for dents, had a dent. It was like, give me money off. She gave me money off. Done deal. I said, the only thing is even though I know I can move it and I can install it, I'm not going to. I'm going to pay the $79.99 just in case there's something wrong. My dickhead landlord can't come after me.
Right. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. So
That's forethought. I like that.
Yeah, because we had a little bit of an issue with that before. But anyway, so now I'm trying to think of, like you were saying, how do you pull that off to promote the podcast? How do you pull that off to promote a live? We need some bad marketing in order to, like, I can do bad marketing, but it would be professionally done.
I can do marketing. That's pretty good.
You can do bold marketing. Yeah.
Got an extra L.
There's a difference between professionally done bad marketing and that's the good stuff. What I would provide is bad stuff, but that's how I tick. So I need somebody in the audience that cares enough to help us to do something as bad as that and send it to me. And I don't know what you're going to do or how you're going to do it, but I'd love to see it, and just have it go viral, because that's all you need. You just need the one hit.
Will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Will you try to find a video of the fat guys with the Darlene thing in the ice cold air? Because I'm really curious now.
Yeah, I mean, you just Google Brian. I'm pretty sure it was here. Like, I'm gonna look it up. I'm pretty sure it was Brian Powers.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I am wrong. Let's see. Ice cold. That was
down the rabbit hole during the podcast.
Yeah. Hold on. Ice cold AC Florida car commercial. The ice cold AC Florida commercial is Family Auto Mart. That's what it was. Family Auto Mart. A used car dealership with a history of infomercials featuring memorable jingles like ice cold AC that will see. Oh, yeah. It's ice cold AC that will set you free.
Oh, my.
The commercials, which were popular in the 90s and 2000s, have gained a cult following in Central and Mid-Florida for their so horrible but addicting nature. That's what you need, as described by viewers. The commercials emphasize their financing options, including no credit check, and their selection of vehicles, particularly minivans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Family Auto Mart. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, Family Auto Mart. I mean, I can pull this up here. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to do it when. Yeah, I don't. You'd have to pull it up. I don't know how to do it.
I'll find it.
But yeah, but yeah, ice cold AC that'll set you free. And then when the radio station I was on, we would do all these different events like these celebrity poker games and for charity and bowling and stuff like that. And those guys would come and participate, and they were very, very nice. The dudes that I don't know why I want to say his name was Brian Powers. I'm pretty sure. Thought it was something of that nature. Anyway,
Austin Powers.
They would come and participate. And they were always very helpful and very good. I don't know whatever happened to them. I'm sure that they, sold whatever it is that they sold, made some money. That's another conversation. Whatever happened to those dudes? What happened to the Family Auto Mart guy? I mean, the Appliance Direct guy, because the Appliance Direct is still around, but I'm assuming he's not the guy anymore. It's a bigger operation, because I was going to go there to get the washer and dryer, and I went on their website and I was like, okay, it's still green and yellow. I had this nostalgic flashback. I was like, oh yeah, they've always been green and yellow. I was like, but this looks way more professional. This looks corporate-y. The website looks corporate-y. So
got it.
They must have sold out, which is
Put
fine.
some Geetuses into it.
Put some Geetuses into it. Anyway, appreciate you listening. Thanks for being here. From AI to Manny, get your questions in for the Mad Dog, jasonbailey.com. Also up there, a link to all of our great sponsors. If you are a business and you are interested on sponsoring the podcast, I'm going to have to say it this way from now on, because I've had a couple conversations with people, and their idea of what you get when you sponsor the podcast is wrong. There's still this traditional radio advertising mindset that I need to reprogram you guys on. It is not like a radio show or radio station where you do commercials and the commercial runs and that's it. This is a different world, and I don't know how other podcasts run, but I will tell you, in this case, when you sponsor this show, yes, you get what we call pre-roll reads, right? Those at the beginning of the show.
That's
But
the
you also-
advertisement.
Yeah, but you also get the branding on jasonbailey.com. You get the branding on the newsletter that goes out every week to a lot of people. And you also get the social media throughout the week. And remember, I do not only do we produce 5 shows, but there's also 5 social clips that go along with that. And if you like become a title sponsor, for example, your logo would be in those videos forever. And now that's 10 videos on the min a week that are out there on social media on all different channels. On top of that, you're buying the database, which is all of my social media, not just from the show, from the other shows, but my personal as well. So that's different than traditional advertising. There's a lot more that goes into it. And, and if you're a type of sponsor where you could be like a Manny and provide content and you have something that you can share with the audience that's going to be beneficial, we can have that conversation. With a lot of sponsors, I'm like, hey, let's get you on. I want to hear your story. And some of them just don't want to do it, which is fine. But if you're a Manny or like a finance guy or someone like that, we can have a segment on. That's part of it. Like, cool, let's do that. If it's beneficial to the show and the audience, I want to do that. My point is I need you to get out of that old school radio mindset. Please get out of that mindset. That is not what we do here on the BPX. All of our social media, if you don't already, please do like, share, follow. At Honey, I Raised the Kids on Insta, at Listen to the BS on Insta, and at the Vinyl Road Podcast on Insta. All have their own social media, all have their own Instagrams. And then as far as the BS goes, there's the Facebook and the YouTube channel, which is under BPX. Bailey Podcast Exchange is blowing up lately. So please be a part of that. All the free shows are up on there. Now, if you're not a subscriber, you're not getting all of the BS podcast each and every week, plus the thousands of hours of content that live on the feed. So go to jasonbailey.com and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. That is what I want for Christmas from you, a subscription. Just give it a try. Give it a chance. See if you dig it. See if I can work my content into your lifestyle on a daily basis. 5 days a week, I'll do my best to entertain you, but you've got to buy into it, like literally buy into it. jasonbailey.com. All right, Ben, you got anything before we get out?
Atheism is a nonprofit organization.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the support. Thanks for listening. Have yourself a great, safe rest of your day. If you're going to be doing some drinking, I understand. I get it. If you've had too much, please don't get behind the wheel of the car. I've lost way too many friends like that. And sure the shit, don't be posting stuff on social media because you will lose a lot of friends like that. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Till next time, check out thebaileyshow.com. Make sure you like, share, follow on all socials. I leave you with these parting words.
Never got a pink slip either. You know what I would get? A guy would come around to my desk and say, "Get the fuck out of here!"
What do we want to talk about?
3 different shows, 5 days a week, 1 feed, details, and to subscribe, jasonbailey.com.